Imagine being stuck in a life that feels like a dead end. Every day looks the same, and every dream seems impossible. That was James, a 28-year-old delivery driver in Chicago, working 12-hour shifts, barely making enough to pay rent. One morning, after another exhausting night shift, he found an old journal from his grandfather. Inside were stories of courage, of chasing dreams when the odds were stacked against you, and then a line stopped him cold. Sometimes, the only way to find your path is to walk until the road finds you. That night, James made a decision that would shock everyone around him. He quit his job and started walking, literally walking, from Chicago to Los Angeles. 2,000 miles with nothing but a backpack, a tent, and determination. Friends laughed. His family begged him to reconsider. But James didn't care. He believed that something, somewhere, was waiting for him at the end of the road. Little did he know, the journey would test every limit of his body and spirit, and reveal secrets about himself he never imagined. The first weeks were a blur of asphalt, blisters, and biting Midwestern wind. James's grand notion of a transformative pilgrimage quickly collided with the reality of aching feet, damp socks, and the hollow growl of hunger. He slept in his thin tent in county parks, or, when desperate, behind silent gas stations. The loneliness was a physical weight. Yet, with every step that carried him out of Illinois and into Missouri, the numb static that had filled his head for years began to clear. He started to hear things: the rustle of cornfields, the distant whistle of trains, the rhythm of his own breath. It was in the Ozark foothills that he noticed the car, an old, boxy sedan, dusty blue. He saw it parked at a scenic overlook ahead of him one afternoon. When he walked by, an elderly man with a kind, lined face offered him a bottle of water. James took it, grateful. The next day, he saw the same car parked near a small-town diner where he was eating a dollar biscuit. A week later, on a long, empty stretch into Oklahoma, the car passed him, slowed, and pulled over on the shoulder a half-mile ahead. His pulse quickened, not with fear, but with a strange certainty. The man got out, leaning against the hood. He wasn't threatening. He held a paper bag. "Figured you could use a decent sandwich," the man said as James approached. His name was Walter, and he had been waiting for James. "I knew your grandfather," Walter said as they sat on a guardrail sharing the food. "We served together. He was the one who walked us out of a hellish situation in Korea. Just put one foot in front of the other and made us do the same until we found safety." Walter's eyes grew distant. He told me about his journal, about the idea that some roads need to be felt with your feet, not seen on a map. He made me promise something. James stared, a piece of bread turning to dust in his dry mouth. He said if any of his family ever seemed lost, Walter continued gently, if they ever made a choice as foolish and brave as he once did, I was to keep an eye out, not to interfere, just to watch, to bear witness. He gestured to the car. "Your mother, God bless her, called me when you left. She was frantic. She found my number in your grandfather's old address book. I told her I'd find you." James felt a surge of anger, then confusion, then a profound, disorienting warmth. He hadn't been alone. The journey felt suddenly deeply different. Walter didn't walk with him. He became a sporadic, moving checkpoint. He'd appear every few days, sometimes with hot food, a fresh pair of socks, or a charged power bank. He'd share another story about the grandfather James had only known as a quiet, frail old man. Stories of resilience the journal had never contained. The walk was still James's alone, but now it was layered with a legacy he was literally walking into. The physical journey forged him. The endless plains of Texas tested his spirit with their monotony and vast exposing sky. The deserts of New Mexico baked him by day and froze him by night, stripping him down to his most essential self. He cried on empty roads, screamed into canyon winds, and laughed at sunrises so beautiful they hurt. He met others, a rancher who let him sleep in a barn, a homeless veteran who shared his beans, a waitress in a tiny Arizona town who paid for his breakfast, seeing the look in his eye. He was no longer the delivery driver from Chicago. He was the walker. The final stretch into California was the hardest. His body was a map of pain and endurance. The someone watching was now a comfort, a tether to a love he hadn't fully understood. Walter's car would be there, always, just often enough. On the day the Pacific Ocean first appeared as a hazy blue line on the edge of the world, James stopped, his legs trembling. He sat on a rock for hours, just watching. He had done it. He found Walter one last time at a beachside parking lot in Santa Monica. The old man handed him the final piece of the puzzle, a sealed envelope, yellowed with age, addressed simply to the one who walks. With salt air stinging his face, James opened it. Inside, in his grandfather's firm script, was a single sentence. "The road doesn't end at the ocean, son. It begins in the man you became to get here." James looked up at Walter, tears finally breaking free. He wasn't the same man who had quit his job in despair. He had been hollowed out and filled back up with grit, sky, and stories. He had a quiet, unshakable knowledge of his own strength. He didn't have a job or a plan, but he had a path, one he had literally walked into existence. And as he watched the endless waves roll in, he understood the final secret. The someone watching had never just been Walter or his worried family. It had been his own potential, finally, after 2,000 miles, able to look him in the eye.